Today I thought I would recreate for you a video that was really popular on my channel, and it's winged eyeliner for hooded and downturned eyes. I thought it was about time that I did a bit of an update because the video is very old, it's on it's on a very poor quality camera, and I do have a couple of different techniques that I can show you now for different types of hooded eyes. So to start off, there's a few things that I want to tell you. Unfortunately, if you do have hooded or downturned eyes, you're not going to get the exact same type of winged eyeliner that everybody tells you you can have. Unfortunately, there are just some eye shapes that it just doesn't suit, but there are ways of enhancing your eyes and your eye shape, and that's why I've got a few different options for you, so you can try them all out and see what suits you best. Now, I know I don't have the most hooded eyes, but if I stop moving my eyebrows and if I look straight ahead, what I do have is a little bit of a hood here, and I have a downturn. So if I look into a mirror, I can see when I'm relaxed, this top line of my lid extends past further than the outer corner of my eye. Now that gives you a downturned shape, which can make you look a little sad or a little sleepy, but it's still a lovely eye shape. Don't let anyone tell you it isn't. Because of that downturned shape, and because this line goes further down than the outside, if we do a normal winged eyeliner that goes up here, what's going to happen is the line will cross, so that when we're doing the liner, it will cross this line here from my natural eyelid, and then it'll go all wobbly and weird, it'll transfer, it'll smudge, and it'll look really strange. You won't get that smooth transition down. So there's got to be ways for us to get around that. Before we get started, I'm going to tell you what you need. So number one, you're going to need an eyeliner. You might like a pen, I prefer a gel eyeliner. This is the Inglot 77. I think it's really important to have some makeup remover on hand, and if you can get hold of them, get these teeny tiny little cotton buds from Muji. They're perfect if you have small eyes like me and you're doing fine work and you want to remove just a little bit. The next thing that I'm going to say that you need is tiny liner brushes. When you're doing eyeliner for hooded eyes, you really are working on fine details. So I have the My Kitco, my mini sharp angle, and that's 1.9, and then I have the My Tiny Angle, which is 1.17. Okay, so look, number one is a really straight liner, and what we're going to do is be taking the liner straight from the outside corner directly out, and that's in a straight line. Not every eye shape is going to be able to do this, but I'm going to show you what it looks like on mine. We're taking the teeny tiny fine brush, and we're going from the very middle where the top and the bottom lash line meet, and we're just going straight out. We're not going super far, but it's just in a completely straight line. Try to do this with your eyes completely open, and then draw back into this top lash line here. Do you see how, because we're going really straight, instead of on the normal angle, which is up, we're not disturbing this hood here and the line where my top liner crosses. I'm just going to keep it really straight. I'm just taking a little bit of a Q-tip to tidy up the edge to make sure it goes out into a really fine point. Now, as I said, not every eye is going to be able to take this shape, because if your hood goes really far down, it might cross. But because mine doesn't go too far down, it's not a huge problem. And I'm just going to keep going here, blending the line into my eye. Now for me, in any look, an eyelash curl is 100% non-negotiable. I've just done an eyelash curl and I've popped my mascara on, and hopefully now when you see me looking straight ahead, you can see that the liner, it's not interrupted at all by my hood. When I move around, it still looks pretty good. Now, I thought I'd just show you what it looks like a little bit further back so that you can get the impression of what it looks like on my face. I'm not going to bother doing it on my other eye. You can just see it on the one. It isn't winged up, but it does draw my eye out, so it makes me look like I've slightly got bigger eyes. If you are someone who likes more definition and a little bit more oomph, take yourself a black pencil and go on under the waterline here. It means that you won't take up any of your lid space, so if you've got smaller eyes, you've still got all that space for eyeshadow, but you get the definition at the lash line. Now the second look that I'm going to do, it requires a little bit of prep work, certainly for me. Maybe you're able to do it straight freehand, but I'm not. So what I do is I take a dark eyeshadow, and that's basically going to be used as a guide. So the way we start on this look is you have to draw with this dark shadow close to the outer corner of your eye here, because we're actually going to be using this line to draw the wing up. Where previously we did a very straight line out, this we are going to take up. I'm just going to carry on this exact line here So take it out to however far basically you want it. Now you have to continue to look straight ahead, and you're going to join it, but only to this little sort of triangle at the end of the eye here. You can just cross this line, but it needs to join smoothly into this top lid. Look down and just fill in where it is to make the shape neater. So, because you can see this hood here, it's crossing down, you can see there's a sort of ripple that happens in the skin. Now that for me, unfortunately, is unavoidable, and for many of you it will be too. But what happens is, because you've drawn it from this outside line on the bottom here, you've actually put the liner naturally much further than you would if you just... So normally if I was drawing an eyeliner, let's say, I would start my flick from here on the outer corner of the eye. But because we've taken it from the bottom, we've actually sort of broadened our eye, and then the liner has the space to actually sit on the skin without causing too much interruption. It's completely up to you now whether you go in and remove this bit on the bottom. I personally like to, just because I just don't think that under the eyes is particularly flattering for my eye shape. I know it seems a little bit pedantic to have drawn it underneath, but for the life of me, I don't know what it is about my eye shape, but I cannot do this wing unless I start off with the guideline. And now, because I've sort of rubbed away some of the makeup there, I'm going to go in with a concealer. Most people with downturned or hooded eyes have a little bit of discoloration here. So for pretty much all of these looks, if you take concealer in the outer corner, you are going to end up making everything look a lot cleaner, and you kind of distract from the discoloration. So it all just basically just looks a bit better. So hopefully you can see that I've managed to wing the line up without emphasizing any drawdown of the eye, and you don't notice the hood so much. It's not exactly perfect because you do have that tiny little lip. So when I move back like this, I can definitely see the tiny little step, but it's only a teeny tiny little, I don't even want to say imperfection, because it's, you know, it is exactly how it's meant to be, because that's just how the shape of my eyes are. But you get the idea. The eye's winged up. It looks really beautiful. You can go over this with your gel or your pen liner. I'm just going to keep it here with powder because I think it shows you the full effect. Yeah, that's number 2. So for option number 3, I'm going to use this shape and build on it. So this is the really full graphic liner that I think made my original video so popular. So we've mapped our original wing, and what we're going to do here is, keeping our head completely straight, I'm going to draw a triangle into the side of the eye here. You have to be completely straight ahead with this and extend the wing out to your desired shape. This is going to be a full-on, proper cat eye. Now, I'd say it is best to do this without your mascara on because it's a bit of a pain otherwise, but I'm going to really turn my head to the side, and I'm going to try and connect this top line over here to the middle of my eye. And I'm just going to basically fill in any skin I see here, so that we get a smooth transition from the middle of our eye up into our wing. Okay, so this is where we're at. Straight ahead, you can see that the liner matches up, but we need to lean back and then just fill in the shape that we've essentially left here to make it look a bit more purposeful. I'm just going to take that into a little triangle there. So when I'm looking straight ahead like this, you can see that perfect cat shape. You can drag this out even further if you want. It's really, you know, it's as graphic as you want it to be. And then you can see that I've taken it to the middle of the eye, which is the highest point of my eye, and take it to whatever is the highest point of yours. But then you want to transition to the inside here to keep that look going on this inner waterline just to the front, and go underneath on your outer side. So I think you're going to be able to tell that for this look, precision is key. You're really going to need to take your time, get these tiny little Q-tips and clean up around the edges. Use a sort of sharp concealer brush to really cut back in when you can. This is your proper cat eye wing. And again, zoomed out. So you can see you've got the really sharp upturned eye. When I look straight ahead like this, the wing looks completely flat. but obviously when I look down, you've got a more geometric shape. Now I know not everyone is going to want to have a look like this on the right. It is very bold, but if you want that full on cat eye, this is the only way to do it. The other two are kind of tricks where you've not got the full cat eye. The first version, obviously, we're very straight, elongating the eye. The second option is basically this, but just much, much smaller and less impactful. And then this option is if you are the kind of person who wants a full graphic look. What I really want you to get from this video is that every eye shape is beautiful. You can have whatever look you want. You can do whatever you want with makeup. There are no rules. But if you're trying to get specific looks that other people are doing, these are the way that you can adapt it to your eye shape. Try them out. It is not easy. Even on the second one, I still use the guideline from the bottom of my eye. It's something that I think, you know, our eyes are different. They're all different. Everyone has a different eye shape. So you have to tweak things for yourself. A lot of the YouTube videos, they're very prescriptive and they say, oh, just do winged eyeliner like this. It's just not going to happen depending on your eye shape. If you do have a lot of hood here where there's a lot of loose skin, these also may not be perfect for you. Try things out, and if you do have any specific questions, please do pop them in the comments and I'll try to answer everything I can. Obviously I can show you what works for my eye, what works for my hood and my downturn. It may not be exactly the same for you, but I do think these are great tips. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I really appreciate it. I know I don't post all the time. I'm really active on TikTok and Instagram, Tom Fraser MUA on both of those. So please do find me over there. I do love this community and I'm going to continue to try and make videos. And until then, I'll see you again soon. Bye guys.